We want to talk about simple present today. You have learned about simple present before, but today we want to have a revision on that. Let's start with the usages of simple present. When do we use simple present in English? As you can see here, simple present has got 3 usages. Repeated or regular actions. Whenever we are talking about our routines, we need to use simple present. Also, for facts, things that are always true, we need simple present. And for habits, our habits, whenever we're talking about our habits, we need to use simple present. Okay, so let's start with the repeated actions or routines. Take a look at these examples, please. For example, the first one says, I take the train to the office. It means I go to work by train. This is my routine. The second says, you study English every day. You need English, so you study English every day. This is your routine. The third says, they speak English at work. They are working in an international company, so they speak English at work. This is their routine. The fourth says, she goes swimming on Fridays. She goes swimming on Fridays. The train to Berlin leaves every hour. The train to Berlin leaves every hour. Sarah sleeps 8 hours every night. This is Sarah's routine. Just pay attention. For she, Sarah, and it, we need the third person S. Okay, be careful with that. Repeat, please. I take the train to the office. I take the train to the office. You study English every day. You study English every day. They speak English at work. They speak English at work. She goes swimming on Friday. She goes swimming on Friday. The train to Berlin leaves every hour. The train to Berlin leaves every hour. Sarah sleeps 8 hours every night. Sarah sleeps 8 hours every night. Sarah sleeps 8 hours every night. Very good. The second usage is about facts, things that are always true. Like what? As you can see, we come from Iran. It means we are from Iran. So we were born in Iran. This is a fact about us. We come from Iran. I have 2 cell phones. I have bought 2 cell phones for myself. This is a fact about me. I have 2 cell phones. The third says they speak Italian. They speak Italian. Who speaks Italian? People from Italy. This is a fact about Italian people. Next says, water boils at 100 degrees. Water boils at 100 degrees. This is a scientific fact, right? Very good. And the other one says, a dog has 4 legs. A dog has 4 legs. Another fact, the president of the USA lives in the White House. The president, Donald Trump, lives in the White House. All right. Again, water. It boils. A dog. It has. Have changes to has for it, she, and he. And the president of the USA, Donald Trump, he lives in the White House. Repeat, please. We come from Iran. We come from Iran. I have 2 cell phones. I have 2 cell phones. They speak Italian. They speak Italian. Water boils at 100 degrees. Water boils at 100 degrees. A dog has 4 legs. A dog has 4 legs. The president of the USA lives in the White House. The president of the USA lives in the White House. Excellent. And the last usage was about habits, right? So let's take a look at these sentences. I get up early every day. I go to bed early at night. And every day I get up early. This is my habit. I cannot sleep until noon. We smoke. Another habit, a bad habit, of course. They travel to north every summer. They have a villa in north, so they travel to north every summer. This is their habit. My sister brushes her teeth twice a day. My sister brushes, it's hard to say brushes, right? So brushes her teeth twice a day. And the last one says, he plays computer games every night. He plays computer games every night. Again, for my sister, she brushes. Sarah brushes. My mother brushes. My friend brushes. He plays computer games. Repeat, please. I get up early every day. I get up early every day. Very good. We smoke. We smoke. They travel to north every summer. They travel to north every summer. My sister brushes her teeth twice a day. My sister brushes her teeth twice a day. He plays computer games every night. He plays computer games every night. Very good. So, for positive sentences using simple present, for the subjects I, you, we, and they, we need the base form of the verb. I learn English, you learn English, they learn English, and we learn English. But for these pronouns, she, he, and it, we need the third person S. Be careful with that. She learns English, he learns English. All right? But how can we make negative sentences using simple present? So, for making negative sentences for simple present, we need auxiliary verbs. فعل کمکی نیاز داریم. Do not, don't, for what? برای چه فاعلایی؟ برای چه pronoun هایی؟ I, they, we, and you. Like what? If I say, I play golf, positive, the negative form is, I don't play golf. فعل کمکی don't رو لازم داریم. If I say, we go swimming, the negative form is, we don't go swimming. Would you please repeat after me? I play golf. I don't play golf. We go swimming. We don't go swimming. And the last example, they do yoga. They do yoga. Do you remember we said for some activities, for some sports like yoga, kung fu, aerobics, gymnastics, the main verb should be do. پس این دوی اول فعل اصلیمون هستش. They do yoga. The negative form, we've got two do's. One of them is the main verb. The other one is the auxiliary verb. فعل اصلی و فعل کمکیمون. Repeat please. They do yoga. They do yoga. They don't do yoga. They don't do yoga. Very good. But how about she, he, and it? The auxiliary verb we need is does, doesn't, or does not. فعل کمکی که نیاز داریم does, doesn't, یا does not هستش. Like what? We say, she plays table tennis. She plays table tennis. She doesn't play table tennis. The negative form. Play. فعل اصلیمون. Third person S. سوم شخص. For the negative form, since we have doesn't, plays changes to play. از اونجایی که تو حالت منفی فعل کمکی does رو داریم، دیگه نیازی نیست که اون اس سوم شخص رو تکرار بکنیم. Very good. Repeat please. She plays table tennis. She plays table tennis. She doesn't play table tennis. She doesn't play table tennis. The other one says, he goes running. He goes running. So the negative form is, he doesn't go running. Goes, third person, doesn't go. The auxiliary verb doesn't, so goes changes to go. He goes running. He doesn't go running. He doesn't go running. And the last example, Jennifer, she does karate. Again, the main verb in does فعل اصلیمون هست. Like for karate, martial arts, we need the main verb does. So for the negative form, Jennifer doesn't do karate. این does به خاطر این فعل کمکی که اینجا داریم به do تبدیل میشه. Jennifer doesn't do karate. Repeat please. Jennifer does karate. Jennifer does karate. Jennifer doesn't do karate. Jennifer doesn't do karate. Very good. So, as I said, for question forms, it's again the same. For making questions using simple present, again, we need auxiliary verbs. Do, like, as you can see here, I say, I do yoga in the park, the main verb. I do yoga, I do aerobics, I do gymnastics in the park. If we want to make a yes-no question, I say, do you do yoga in the park? Do you do yoga in the park? As you can see, again, دو زرد فعل کمکیمون هست و دو سبز فعل اصلیمون هستش. For making WH questions, we say, where do you do yoga? Where do you do yoga? Would you please repeat after me? I do yoga in the park. I do yoga in the park. Do you do yoga in the park? Do you do yoga in the park? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Where do you do yoga? Where do you do yoga? The answer is in the park. The other example, they have a BMW. They have a BMW. Yes, no question. Do they have a BMW? Do they have a BMW? And for WH question, what kind of car do they have? What kind of car do they have? Repeat, please. They have a BMW. Do they have a BMW? Do they have a BMW? Yes, they do. No, they don't. What kind of car do they have? What kind of car do they have? A BMW. Very good. But again, for she, he, and it, the auxiliary verb for making questions in simple present, we need does. فعل کمکی does رو for she and he and it نیاز داریم. Like what? She lives in Toronto. She lives in Toronto. Third person is for she. Yes, no question. Does she live in Toronto? Does she live in Toronto? از اونجا که فعل کمکی does اومده پس lives changes to live. We do not need the third person s anymore. Very good. Does she live in Toronto? And where does she live? Repeat, please. She lives in Toronto. She lives in Toronto. Does she live in Toronto? Does she live in Toronto? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Where does she live? Where does she live? In Toronto. Very good. And the last example, he has 3 sisters. Okay? He has 3 sisters. Has instead of have for he. So the yes no question is, does he have 3 sisters? Does he have 3 sisters? And WH question, how many sisters does he have? How many sisters does he have? Repeat, please. He has 3 sisters. He has 3 sisters. Does he have 3 sisters? Does he have 3 sisters? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. How many sisters does he have? How many sisters does he have? 3 sisters. Very good. So let's have a revision on what we just learned for negative and question forms of simple present. As you can see, for the pronouns I, we, you, and they, we need the auxiliary verb don't. And for he, she, and it, the auxiliary verb we need is doesn't. So to say, I don't speak Italian. We don't like soccer. You don't go swimming. They don't speak Italian. He doesn't have a sister. She doesn't do gymnastics. It doesn't rain. All right? But how about the question forms? First, we need WH words like what, where, why, when, what time, how many, and how often. Again, for I, we, you, and they, the auxiliary verb we need is do. So we say, what do I do? What do I do? Where do we live? Where do we live? Why do you learn English? Why do you learn English? When do they wake up? When do they wake up? Very good. And for she, he, and it, the auxiliary verb we need is does. Like we say, what time does she go to bed? What time does she go to bed? How many brothers does he have? How many brothers does he have? How often does it snow? How often does it snow?